And it's a beautiful thing to be sensitive to the voice of the Lord in this season, and because that's where we are. As I was sharing earlier, that I was ready to preach today. I had the message already ready, the Moses in you. I was ready to talk to the Moses in you, but the Lord said, you ain't talking to that today. About 3:45, he said, you something about that time. He said, no, that's not what you're saying to them today, but there's something else that is on you. Some of you came in here with it today, and I got to speak to that, and that's Psalms 121. Psalm 121, and I want to read the first verse. It says, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. I want to speak to you from this subject this morning. There is a lifting. There is a lifting. Look at your neighbor. Tell them there is a lifting. Touch somebody and say there's a lifting in this place. When I'm talking about lifting, that means I'm talking about raising to a higher position. God is raising you to a higher position. He's raising you to a higher level. I got to give you what God gave me this morning. Typically, I get up at about 2:30 a.m. 5 days out of the week. I'm up at 2:30 a.m. so I can either be outside or at the gym for 3 a.m. And I'm typically either going to head for a workout or I'm going to run around the neighborhood. It is my way to kind of jumpstart my day. It is my way to pray. It is my way to exercise. It is my way to silence the noise that is in my mind sometimes. It's my way to focus. And so it becomes almost like a daily therapy. But if I can be honest with you, like I have to be with myself these last few weeks, these last few days, it's been pretty hard to do that. You ever have days where it's just hard sometimes to function? You know what you want to do, but some days you just don't feel it. Some days you just don't want to get out of bed. Some days you just don't want to push forward. Some days I just don't want to go to work. Some days I just don't want to go to school. Some days I just don't want to push myself to do what I have to do. In essence, some days it's been a struggle. Sometimes it's a struggle to get up and push yourself. It's a struggle to get up and work your body. It's a struggle to get up and move those limbs. It's a struggle sometimes to get dressed. It's a struggle sometimes to go to the same job day after day. Sometimes it's a struggle to deal with the same boss day after day. It's a struggle sometimes to open them bills every month. It's a struggle sometimes to open that email, that electronic notification. It's a struggle sometimes to answer that phone when you see it's a bill collector calling. It's a struggle sometimes to have to pay that bill, to see that money leave up out of your account. Sometimes it's a struggle when you see that notification from Chase saying this much has been moved out of your account. It's a struggle, and sometimes you even forget the days that's supposed to come out, and you forget that stuff's supposed to come out when it come out, and you caught off guard where that came from. It is a struggle some days, and sometimes life can be that way. It can be a struggle. It is a struggle sometimes to get up and work out. It's a struggle to get up and do the things you have to do, and sometimes it's hard because of what you see happening in the world around you. How many of you know there is a struggle going on in our nation? There's a struggle going on in our world, and on top of you all having to try to maintain the daily ups and downs of life, you got to deal with every other struggle. in spite of trying to maintain a healthy family, you got to deal with other struggles. In spite of trying to maintain your status on your job, you got to deal with the other ups and downs. In spite of trying to just deal with life, which is its own stuff, own problems every day, you got to deal with all these other things. In spite of trying to deal with your own financial struggles, you got to deal with everybody else's problems and everybody else's situations and everybody else asking you for money and everybody else asking you to let me hold this and let me hold that, and you saying, I'm barely making it myself. How in the world can I try to take care of you? And do you understand the stuff I got on my back? Do you understand what I'm carrying on my shoulders? Do you understand the pressure that I'm under every day? Do you understand the scrutiny that comes with being me? Do you understand the pressure that comes with being me? Do you understand what it takes to show up every morning? Do you understand what it takes to walk in the door with a smile on my face and the weight of the world on my shoulders? Do you understand what it feels like to have to hold your tears in and have to get yourself together? Do you understand what it feels like to have to step away from your desk sometimes and take a walk outside? Do you understand what it feels like to excuse yourself and to go in the bathroom for just a minute just to get yourself together? Do you understand what it feels like to pull up to your house and just sit in your driveway in the car because you don't want to go inside because you know all the things that you got to deal with on the inside? Do you know what it feels like when you're just trying to breathe but life is just sucking the air out of you? Do you know what it feels like we're trying to maintain all of these things and all of these challenges that we're dealing with? And not only that, we being hit smack dab in the face was racism and civil injustice and social unrest and physical unrest and financial unrest and spiritual unrest. And whether you want to admit it or not, everything that we see in today's time, it is affecting you. We are living in a day and time where people are losing their homes. We're living in a time where people are losing their jobs. We're living in a time where people are losing their health. We're living in a time where people are losing their Medicaid. We're living in a time when people are losing Medicare. We're living in a time where funding is being cut from our schools. We're living in a time where insurance rates are rising. We're living in a time where they're pricing you out of your neighborhoods. We're living in a time where gentrification is real. We're living in a time where seniors gotta go back to work. We're living in a time where your retirement may be gone. We're living in a time and in a country that said we will work you until you die. We're living in a time where DEI initiatives have been stripped. We're living in a time where things are going hard. We're living in a time where we're losing family members and close friends. We're living in a time where we now have to be forced to grieve differently. We're living in a time now where we're dealing with trauma on a daily basis and you can't talk about it with nobody. We're dealing with a time where people are dropping dead because of the stress and the weight that is on their life. We're dealing in a time where the mental weight of society is wearing us down, and we got to deal with this while we're reminded of injustice every day. We got to deal with this when we're seeing videos being posted every day of unarmed people being mistreated by the law and they're not getting the due process. We're doing it in a time now where ICE is raiding everybody and people are being shipped out of the country in jails into another country, and we don't hear from them and we don't see them, and this is happening on a daily basis. And don't you think that it won't just happen to them? Don't you think that they won't try to do it with you? This is only the beginning of what we have to deal with on a daily basis. On a daily basis, you're seeing vitriol hatred that is being spewed between races. On a daily basis, we're seeing the White House move in a way that ain't good. On a daily basis, we're seeing Congress move in a way that ain't good. On a daily basis, you're seeing how the devil has weaved his way into our government. On a daily basis, you're seeing seeds of discord that have been placed throughout our society. On a daily basis, we're seeing the algorithms that guide your social media posts play them same images over and over and over. And some apps say you can't even delete it. They're going to force you to look at it. They're going to force you to see the hatred. They're going to force you to see the injustice. And they keep playing it over and over and over and over. And whether you realize it or not, when you got to deal with all of this stuff on a daily basis, something will happen. It will cause you greater anxiety. That's why you're struggling with anxiety right now. That's why you feel worried right now. That's why we're feeling nervous right now. That's why you're feeling unease right now, because of anxiety. Every day you wake up, you just feel uneasy. You feel uneasy riding in your car. You feel uneasy walking in your neighborhood. You feel uneasy living in the city because you don't know if an escapee may be in your backyard. You don't even know if the jails can hold anybody anymore. You don't even know who's working on the inside. We don't know what's going on. It is a time of unease. It is a time of anxiety. It is a time where we've been worried about things with an uncertain outcome. And when you're dealing with greater anxiety, it will cause a greater fear. It will cause an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that something might happen. Fear is an emotion caused by the belief. We don't know if it will happen, but just the thought of something happening will drive you insane. Just the thought of not being safe in your home will drive you insane. Just the thought of not being safe in your city will drive you insane. It plays on you psychologically. It plays on you emotionally. It's the fact that we in 2025 and we still fighting a corrupt system. It's 2025 and we still got to say that Black lives matter. It's 2025 and we still got to say that Black stories matter. It's 2025 and we still got to say that Black history matters. It's 2025 and we still got to say that Black struggles matter. It's 2025 and we still got to say that Black journey matters. It's 2025 and we still got to say that our Black schools and HBCUs still matter. It's 2025 and we still got to say that Black women matter. It's 2025 and we still got to say that your bodies matter. It's 2025 and we still got to say that your health matters. It's 2025 and you still got to wonder about having children and if you're going to be safe in a doctor's office. It's 2025 and they still saying that they expect you to be able to deal with pain because you strong. You think I want to have to deal with this pain? You think I want to have to go through the suffering? You think I want to have to do this? It's 2025 and as a Black man, my mental health is still under attack. It's 2025 and as a Black man, I still got to worry, will I make it home safe if I get stopped by the police? It's 2025 and I'm still got to wonder about if my children are going to make it home safe. It's 2025 and I still got to worry about my boys every day. It's 2025 and I live in a world that if I'm in an elevator too long with somebody and they sneeze, I'm going to side-eye at them. It's 2025 and I'm still worried about the next pandemic. It's 2025 and I'm still wondering about the side effects of the vaccines that I had to take. It's 2025. I don't know if it's going to affect my body. I don't know if it's going to affect my asthma. It's 2025 and I'm living in a world that is full of information on a daily basis. Every day, every moment, it's a different news cycle. Every day, every moment is something else popping up every day, every moment. And I can't even verify if it's true or not. I don't know what to believe. Every day, I'm constantly bombarded. Every day, I'm constantly getting information. Every day, I'm constantly having these things running in my mind over and over and over and over. And if all I got to do is deal with this stuff every day, excuse me if I have a moment. Excuse me if I need a little time to myself. Excuse me if I need a brief period of time to deal with this thing called life. Excuse me if I check out for a second. Excuse me as I deal moments of stress. And it's these moments of strain. And it's the moments of carrying the weight of responsibility. Joe, it's the moment that the weight I'm carrying, can't nobody even see it because I'm so used to smiling. It's the moment of knowing that if somebody add one more thing on my back, I got some witnesses here. You know if the truth were to be told, if they drop one more thing on your shoulder, I look like I'm doing fine right now, but if I get one more disappointment, if I get one more setback, if I get one more person to tell me no, it's liable to break me down till I have nothing else left. It's in these moments. Can I be honest with you? It's in these moments. You go through them and I go through them. That while I'm running and while I'm working out, that this is the stuff that's going through my head. And I had a moment. I had a moment this week that I was running. That tears started to fall from my eyes. I had a moment that I was running and I started to feel the weight that was on my shoulders. And I had a moment that while I was running, and the only thing that came out of my mouth, the only thing I could muster out of my spirit was that I need some help. Oh, is there something that can help me? Is there somebody that can help me? Help me to make it easier for me. Is it somebody that can make me easier? Is it something out there that could offer their service or their resources to help me? Is there something out there that could improve my situation? Is there something out there that could improve my problem? Is there something or someone out there that could be a benefit to me? And can I be more transparent with you that as I was running, as I was trying to figure this thing called life out, as I was trying to figure this thing out of how I'm going to maneuver to make this thing happen and how I'm going to maneuver to make this thing work and how I'm going to take this and put this there and put this here. And as I'm wondering and putting the pieces together, then all of a sudden on my Pandora radio station, a song pops up on the gospel channel, and the song comes on and says, you got to look to the hills from which cometh your help. A song came on and said your help is coming from the Lord. So when that song came on, I thought it was just something for me personally, but at 3:45 the Lord said that wasn't just for you, Brandon. That was something you had to preach to the house that's in here today. That's something that you had to preach on Facebook. That's something that you had to preach on YouTube. That's something that you had to preach on Instagram. You got to preach this passage to the people that are in the house. So can we go to Psalms 121 this morning? Psalms 121, which is the Psalms of Ascent. Psalms 121, which is a collection of 15 Psalms in the Hebrew Bible. These Psalms were, watch this, traditionally sung by Jewish pilgrims as they traveled to Jerusalem for 3 major annual festivals. They sung these songs as they traveled. They sung these hymns as they traveled. They sung these hymns as they traveled to the Temple Mount. They sung these hymns as they were on a journey going upward. They sung these hymns at the time when they were traveling to the festival of the Passover. They sung these hymns as they traveled to the time of the Passover of the tabernacle. But this is the one that got me. They also sung these hymns when they traveled to the temple for the feast of Pentecost. Oh, somebody missed that. This is what they sung on their way to the feast of Pentecost. Do you know that Pentecost Sunday is 2 weeks away? So while they were on their journey
journey. This is the hymns that they were quoting on their way to Pentecost. These are the things they were saying on their way to Pentecost. They were ascending, which means they were going on a journey that required them to go up some hills. They were going on a journey that required them to do some physical activity. They were going on a journey that required them to do some physical climbing in order to get what they needed from God. They had to go through some hard stuff in order for them to get what they needed from God. You got to take a journey, which means in order to get the things you need from God, every day ain't gonna be sunshine. In order to get what you need from God, you're gonna have some rough days. In order to get the things you need from God, every day is not gonna be a sunny day. You're going to have some hard days. The Bible said they were on a journey. They were traveling from one place to another, and while on the journey, it was often long, it was often difficult. So the Bible says that when the songwriter was ascending upward, as he was walking upward, he opened his mouth and said that I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. Watch this. I will lift up mine eyes to the hills from whence cometh my help. The psalmist is on a journey. The psalmist is a pilgrim who is traveling through a rough patch. The psalmist is a pilgrim who's traveling through a lonely country, and for whatever the reason on his journey, he has to stop. He has to pause. He has to take a second, and the psalmist has to look up at the hills. He has to pause and take a moment. Now you got to understand the Hebrew poetry of the text. He pauses and takes a moment, and he has to lift up his eyes to the hills, which means that at this point on his journey, when he pauses, he's saying, I'm having a moment. I'm going through something. The journey is a little bit hard right now. I'm a little bit tired on my journey. I feel like giving up on my journey. Maybe the climb got too rough for him. Maybe he started looking at what he would have to go through in order to get where he was trying to go. He's on a journey, which means that he had to go through some hills. He's on a journey where he had to go through some valleys. He's on a journey where he had to go through some rough patches. He's on a journey and he didn't have no hiking boots. He's on a journey. He didn't have no mountain bike. He's on a journey. He didn't have no walking stick. He's on a journey. He didn't have no Gatorade with him. He's on a journey. He didn't have a 10K with him. He's on a journey. He don't have the gels with him. He's on a journey and he's on a path all by himself. He's on a journey and he's walking and he realizes this journey is not going to be as easy as I thought it was. The journey is requiring a whole lot of me. The journey is a lot on my shoulders right now. And he gets to a point and realizes along the journey that I'm going to need some help. I'm going to need somebody to help me to finish this journey. He realizes that I can't do this thing all by myself. And when I look at the story, he looked at the hills and he realized that when I look at the hills, guess what? There were dangers that could be seen in the hills. I don't know. There could be wild animals in the hills. There could be somebody trying to get me in the hills. And that's the problem where many of us are right now. We've been looking to the hills for our help. We've been looking to the hills to get the relief we need. But if you understand Hebrew poetry, when he says, I look to the hills, in other words, I had to look over the hills because he realized the thing that was going to help me is not in the hills. And I came to tell somebody the thing that you need to help you will not be found in the hills. The hills are not going to help you get through your rough places. The hills are not going to help you get through your rough patch. The psalmist said, I got to look beyond the hills because I realize that the help that I need, it can only come from a place that's beyond the thing that's trying to stop me. I need to preach to somebody and let you know that you better look beyond the hills. You got to look beyond what's standing in your way. You got to look beyond what's trying to stop you. You got to look beyond what's trying to block you. I don't care what they say about you. I don't care what they try to do to you. I don't care how much they lied on you. I don't care how much they backstabbed you. I don't care care how much they mistreated you. I came to let you know you got to look past that. You got to use your spiritual eyes and open up your eyes and see. You got to look beyond the hills, because the thing you need, y'all, the help you need is beyond the hills. The psalmist said, when I look beyond the hills, that's when I realize, y'all, that's where my help is coming from, because you know who is beyond the hills. When I look beyond my situation, when I look above my situation, I can see a God who is bigger than my current circumstances. I can see a God who is stronger than what I'm going through right now. The psalmist had a moment, y'all. He said, I got to look beyond the hills, because that's where my help, y'all, that's where my help is coming from. And then he started to get happy when he realized, when I look back over my life, the only way I made it, it wasn't because of the hills, it was because who was beyond the hills. When he looked back over his life, he had to remember, y'all, the children of Israel, when they went through a rough patch, their help came from beyond the hills. When Pharaoh was chasing them, trying to corner them by the Red Sea, that their help came from beyond the hills. He had to realize, y'all, that something in my life is bigger than my hills. He had to realize, y'all, that when he looked back over his life, he's been down before and he needed some help, y'all, and his help came from beyond the hills. I came to talk to somebody. You've had to face hills on your job. I came to talk to somebody. You've had to face hills in your finances. You've had to face hills in your relationships. You've had to face hills in the White House, y'all. We've got to face hills in Congress. We got to face hills on tomorrow. We got to face hills through the week. But if you look back over your life, this ain't the first time that I've dealt with some hills, y'all. This ain't the first time that I've been down, and this ain't the first time that I've been out. This ain't the first time that I felt like throwing in the towel. This ain't the first time that the walls were closing in. This ain't the first time when I felt discouraged, y'all. This ain't the first time that the devil has been on my back. But if I look back over my life, did somebody get you through the first time? If you look back over your life, there was somebody that still healed your body. There was somebody that still made a way out of no way. There was still somebody that opened a door where there was no door. There was still somebody that brought your ancestors out. There was still somebody that brought your grandma out. There was still somebody that brought your great grandma out. And if that same somebody brought them out before, that same somebody can bring me out right now. Hebrews 13:8 says that God is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. So the psalmist said that if I need some help, I got to lift my eyes and look beyond the hills and see where my help is coming from. And I just believe that on this morning that there is a lifting of your eyes. There is a lifting. There's a lifting of your heart. And before it's said and done, you're going to realize where your help comes from. Well, in case you don't know, let me remind you. Verse 2 says, my help cometh from the Lord which made the heavens and the earth. My help comes from the Lord, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the omnipresent God, the omniscient God, the all-powerful God. That's where my help comes from. The Bible Bible says in verse 3 that he will not suffer thy foot to be moved. The Bible says that with that help on my side, he won't allow my foot, he won't let my foot be moved. In other words, if God is on my side, he won't let my foot stumble, he won't let my foot slip, y'all. So I came to let you know that on tomorrow morning, just keep on walking, and on Tuesday morning, just keep on walking. Walk through the hell, and walk through the fire, and walk through the flood, because the same God that was with him in Psalms is the same God that's with you today. He's the same God that won't allow your foot to be moved. The Bible says, he that keepeth Israel, he never slumbers nor sleep. The Bible says that the Lord is my keeper, and the Lord is my shade upon thy right hand. The Bible says that the sun shall not smite thee by day. The sun is hot, the sun is scorching, the sun can burn you, but with the Lord on my side, I don't care how hot the situation gets. If he's on my side, I'm gonna be okay. He said the sun can't strike me by day, nor the moon by night. It said the Lord shall preserve thee. I like that, y'all. It said the Lord shall preserve thee. I love a good jar preserves, that when they put it in the jar and they seal it up, Miss Mabel, it means it's going to preserve it. It's going to keep it. So what you don't understand, the reason why I'm here today, the reason why you're here today is because that same God, he put you in a jar. That same God, he put a lid on you. That same God, he tightened up the lid. And when everybody else fell, guess what, y'all? I'm still standing. I'm still trusting. I'm still holding on because God has preserved me. Is there anybody here? You know that God, that he's going to preserve you. He's going to keep me from evil. Not only that, y'all, the Bible says that the Lord shall preserve. He's going to preserve my going out, and he's going to preserve my coming in. That means that I'm blessed in the city, and I'm blessed in the field, and I'm blessed when I come, and I'm blessed when I go. It means I'm the head and not the tail, that I'm above and not beneath, and I'm the lender and not the borrower. In case you didn't realize, I'm preaching till you get lifted. I'm preaching till your eyes get open today. I'm preaching till you pull your head up. I'm preaching till you rear your shoulders back. I'm preaching till you believe in your heart that no weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. I'm preaching till you believe that you are more than a conqueror. I'm preaching till you believe that if God be for you, who in the world can be against you? There's a lifting. The psalmist said that there's a lifting. That there comes a point in your life where you got to lift your eyes. There's a point in time in your life where you got to lift your hearts. Comes a point in time when you got to realize where your help truly comes from. The song said, I realize where my help comes from. So when times get hard, you know what I do?
I just lift my hands.
There's the lifting of the hands.
That's what I do.